Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, I've been getting a real kick on all the tweets I'm finding out there about liberals who are claiming that us on the conservative side, we're having buyer's remorse about the election of President Donald Trump. When in actuality, I think most of the buyer's remorse is actually occurring inside the DNC. In fact, today, we're going to talk about one of our favorite cast of characters out of the DNC. And of course, that is their vice chair, David Hogg, because it appears, shockingly, that David Hogg is using his position as the DNC Vice Chair for his own personal gains. And we will connect the dots for you today. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about when a hog starts acting like a pig. Okay, America, we're going to circle back on DNC Vice Chair David Hogg. As you recall, we did this video right here where we basically said thank you. Thank you very much, because now the veil has come off on your civilian disarmament movement and the whole country will see exactly where you stand on our inalienable rights. Well, it appears that other folks in the Democratic Party are none bit too thrilled with Mr. Hogg's performance so far. Now, let's go back and talk about one of the most vocal mouths of the entire liberal movement, which of course is James Carville. Now, James Carville is a pretty sharp dude. James Carville has had a considerable amount of success running campaigns. And even though I don't agree with what James Carville often says, I do respect his intellect. The guy knows what he's talking about when it comes to campaign politics. Now, what was he quoted as saying when he learned that David Hogg had been elected DNC Vice Chair? Well, here's the quote, and I'm sorry I'm going to have to censor portions of it to keep Google from peeing their pants. But this is what Carville said. "I dedicated the best years of my life to this party only to see it taken over by a bunch of stupid Everything's gone to Who are these people? This David Hogg guy and that other sissy, Malcolm Kenyatta, come out of left field. Where there goes the male vote forever. Thanks, guys. We're and we deserve it." So tell us how you really think, Mr. Carville. But in addition to those very obvious concerns, which Democrats should heed, because as I mentioned, James Carville oftentimes does know what he's talking about. Well, it would appear that Mr. Hogg is up to no good. As a matter of fact, we thought about entitling this video "When David Needs a Dose of Doge," because what's going on is David Hogg is actually using his position as DNC Vice Chair to raise money for his own well-being. Let me explain what he's doing. Almost immediately after being selected as DNC Vice Chair, David sent multiple social media messages and text messages out to all the donors on the DNC's list. Okay, so you can imagine how many people David Hogg was able to reach through his power as DNC Vice Chair. Yeah, but you see, instead of linking up in his post to the DNC fundraising apparatus, of which there is a very extensive one, no, instead David decided it would be better to link up so that everyone who was going to donate would donate to the Political Action Committee Leaders We Deserve. What is the Political Action Committee Leaders We Deserve? Yeah, that's David Hogg's own Political Action Committee that he started in August of 2023, and that is also how David Hogg has paid himself over $100,000 per year since he set it up by taking draws and distributions from that Political Action Committee. So rather than getting on board and helping the Democratic National Committee raise funds for their own personal fundraising, instead, no. David Hogg decides he's going to use this opportunity to raise money for himself. And it has many in the Democratic elite pretty worried about what's developing here. At least one Democratic Party representative was quoted in the New York Post as saying, "It's especially important for all Democrat national officials to focus on raising support for the party and not using their positions to raise money for themselves or their personal political PACs. It's a stunning lack of judgment that is concerning to many people." Well, you know, to the DNC, you really kind of deserve some of this, okay? This is an individual who basically invented the term coffin surfing and then has cried for the abolishment of ICE and the defunding of the police. But that's who you want as your DNC Vice Chair. Again, another high-ranking Democratic official was quoted in the New York Post as saying, "I mean, it's just very frustrating to be in a party in desperate need of increased accountability for our struggling leadership and watch someone who has never held accountable ascend to its leadership. So to the DNC, listen, I don't feel sorry for you. None of us feel sorry for you. You knew what you were getting yourself into. You just probably had no idea that he was actually going to go out and fundraise for himself and rob from your coffers. And for that reason, if the DNC had any shred of integrity left, that and that alone would get them to terminate him as vice chair. They won't do it, however. They won't do it simply because what David Hogg stands for, which is complete and total civilian disarmament, is a mainstay in the platform of the modern progressive movement, and for that reason, he will continue to be their vice chair. Listen, we're going to go ahead and link up everything that we relied upon in making this story right down below so that you could geek out on it for yourself. I honestly do believe that David needs a dose of Doge. If you have any other questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here, tell us all about it by clicking on that link right there. If you want to subscribe to our monthly newsletter, the ability to do all of that is right down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, America, let's remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.